Hey, it's Jacob from 6865D, and I'm about to make the worst explanation video you've ever seen. So, yesterday, after a bit of gap in our schedule, we started taking the robot apart for Worlds, because we qualified. Yeah, yesterday we started taking apart the robot, because we needed to save weight for Worlds, because we're pretty heavy, even after weight reduction from our even past robot. So we're 17 pounds right now. But while we were taking it apart, I was like, wait a second, we gotta make a video. So this is the current state of the robot. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, hi Clint. Oh yeah. So, oh, he's gonna supervise me from the corner. That's embarrassing. So how this video is gonna go is I'm gonna basically help you imagine what the robot was like, and I'm gonna edit in clips of each of these subsystems that are still together, thankfully.
This is a certified home classic.
Working from match videos and testing videos and stuff. So it's gonna be probably the worst explanation video, but it's for documentation and maybe you'll get an idea. So I guess let's get started. Okay, to get started, it's our drivetrain. Yay! You can see why I don't do videos like this, because I sound like an idiot. Okay, so our drivetrain goes from blue motors, which are 600 RPM, geared, these are 36 to 48, right? Yeah, 36 to 48, so that brings it down to 450 RPM on 3.25 inch wheels. So what's our linear speed? I didn't write that down.
Linear speed?
Yeah, linear.
Like 75.
It's like 70, 75 inches per minute. Second?
Per minute.
I don't know, bro. 75 inches a second?
Yeah.
Okay. I really got to do my homework, because he does linear speed and drivetrain. Hence why I don't do these videos. But yeah, we're pretty quick, and we decided to go with all Omni wheels. Our last robot, I think we might have, no, we didn't touch on that. So our last robot, we had 4-inch wheels with a traction wheel in the middle, so it was 6 wheels and then traction in the middle. But we opted to do full Omni for maneuverability and cool stuff with Auton and blah blah blah. And it works really well because when you have a 6-motor drive, I think I mentioned it's a 6-motor drive. It's a 6-motor drive. Oh, this video is cooked. Yeah, it's a 6-motor drive, so when you have that much torque and speed, we find it easier to just move out of the way instead of getting pushed around, and we haven't had a single issue with like 3 competitions running it, so and our driver can drift. Thanks, Clint. What's my next one? Intake! Hooray! This is our first stage, and wow, this is heavy. This is comparable to the robot. That's kind of sad. Hence why we're saving weight on this new rendition, the best you've ever seen. We have a custom gearbox with polycarb because it's easier than using metal and gears and blah blah blah. So we're really fancy. We CAD'd this out with our robot CAD. Thanks, Clint the Cadder. So it goes from 48 to these 24 tooth metal gears. But if you hold one of those in your hand, you'll notice it's probably the heaviest VEX part you've ever felt. So we decided to cut it in half with a special bandsaw that you probably don't have at your school, so don't try that. But we cut those in half, so it saves a lot of weight because those things are basically paperweights on your robot, and this thing might be like a third more heavy. I don't know my math. And then a liner. Yeah. It's our liner for neutral stick and Lady Brown. Oh yeah, that looks so good off the robot. So we decided to do it in one piece. This, including these things that keep the rings in the intake instead of flying out. Okay, so we have these triangle braces on our intake as well to stop it from going oh, it's doing right now, but it's not on the robot, so I'm just gonna use that excuse. But it helps with strength and stuff. And this is dyed acetyl or Delrin, as literally everyone calls it. And Clint just told me it's acetyl because he's a know-it-all. All of the plastic you see on this robot is dyed Delrin, and you just use RIT dye more technically, because it's used for synthetic fabrics and stuff like polyester, which is basically just plastic. So use RIT dye more. And yeah, so all the plastic isn't like bought, colored, and all that. So we do that in house because we're awesome. And as well as these black wheels and gears, all dyed with Dymore, plus acetone to penetrate the thicker plastics. Don't pour acetone in the pot while the burner is on, because one of my dear teammates that's giving me a big old grin right now did that and caught their kitchen on fire. Just a little bit, we're good. This has gotten way out of hand. Okay, intake. Leave a comment below if you got any questions, because that was a mess. Okay, intake stage 2. So instead of the flat intake we ran before on our last robot, which I'll put a card for the last video up if you guys haven't seen it. But we had just a flat piece of plastic, which is good enough, but it's not the best. We are the best. That's very cocky of me. So we catted these custom curves intakes, so they go along and scoop up a ring and get hooked, and it's just better. I don't know how to explain it. You can just see it's better because it goes up. And then standard, we have these flex wheels on the top of the intake, like everyone. You can imagine why. And that leads me into our next point, is color sort, with this distance sensor and this color sensor. I know my sensor. So it goes up on the hooks. It goes up on the hooks. It goes up on the hooks. We're gonna imagine that. Color sensor right here sees color. It's like, hey, distance sensor, I got an opposite color to my alliance coming. When you see that distance, fling it off, man. So it's the distance sensor's like, hey, the ring's here. And that's the perfect distance in the code to be like, whee, off the robot. Absolutely dominating the competition. Color sort. I'm not a programmer, you can tell. We talk about color sort and most of the programming in our last video. Okay, next talking point. Okay, imagine this intake is on and it's mounted beautifully like we've always had it. This is leading us into our clamp. I know I dogged on the top down clamp last video, but it ain't that bad, I figured out, because of space. Boy, I got an example. So it's just 2 pistons mounted on our intake, up and down clamp, 3 wide, pretty standard to probably everything you've seen on the internet. So goes up, goes in, and clamp goes down if it was attached, if we didn't take it apart yesterday. It's standard top-down clamp. I don't think there's no special thing about it. It's cool. We did not do auto clamp this one because we didn't have time. I'll just be real. We'll see if we have it for Worlds. Okay, next up is our Lady Brown. I just put a high strength shaft in there. It's a 5.5 watt motor directly onto a 12 tooth to a 36 to a 48. And Clint told me that that's 50 RPM output. If that's wrong, yell at Clint. I can tag him in the description because he is on the internet. But it goes in the intake, and we didn't have enough time to play with all the spacing, so we just have anti-slip mats, and one of our programmers did a tap mech, so it just taps it a couple times into place and it goes onto the neutral stick mech. There will be a clip of this working, but I mean, it's kind of pretty easy to explain. So this is the Lady Brown structure. These are custom made, nothing real special. It is within the 36-inch thing, so it can do this whole, it can do that. It can D-score on the neutral stick. It's not very efficient, but it can. So we decided to go with the within 36-inch so we don't violate any rules or have any workarounds, and it's just really nice. Okay, next up is our doinker that I just cobbled together because we took it apart. So we decided to go with a clamp net on our doinker, a claw. It works pretty well when it wants to. So it goes down to the ground, it drives forward, it goes chomp, and it drags. That is when it aligns. It doesn't work if it isn't aligned. So that kind of sucks. We lost that at state. I mean, it's doinker, piston makes it go down, piston makes it chomp. That's it. Next is our Auton selector. So Clint is really proud of this. Right, Clint? Yeah. He spent a lot of time doing this. He uses pros or something. Yeah. He uses pros, so that helped out. It's hard in normal C++. Our sister team 6865D did that in just normal C++, I think. So salute to them. But so I think this is the Alliance selector. If I can. Yeah, Auton selector, and then we got rings or goal side. Next, quals and eliminations, and skills. So it's just each switch is a different thing, and it's pretty clean, and it works if you select the right thing and don't have your bot sorting the wrong color the whole match. We've had that happen. I went over color sort. Yeah, I can do this. Okay. Oh, I saw my badge on. So with our controller, this will relate to intake. I'll have to put this by intake. So this is intake and outtake, or our first stage and our second stage are separate motor. So one is intake, one is outtake. But if you push down both, only the first stage goes, which is good for whatever our driver needs. And I think that's it. Sorry for how unprofessional and bad this video was. We took our robot apart, and no one else wanted to make a video but me. Yeah, for the future, we're just trying to take our, we're trying to take off weight, so maybe take off some of those wheels, take off this high strength shaft here to save weight, and just little stuff like that. Ready for Worlds 2 years in a row. Hooray. And I think that about wraps it up. Thanks for watching. Now I have to edit this.
This is a certified hard